أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for joining us on yet another episode of Virtuous Women Connect series season 2 tagged Solace with Virtuous Women Connect. My name is Habeeba Muhammad, and on this episode, inshallah, I'll be talking on spouse connectedness. Spouse connectedness entails the attachment that exists between couples, and one way to attain this is through intimacy. Now, upon hearing the word intimacy, what comes to mind for most of us is sex and romance. Well, intimacy is not synonymous with sex, neither is it another word for it, as most of us think it is. It's possible to have sex without intimacy and intimacy without sex. Intimacy is not reserved solely for sexual or romantic partners alone. It plays a vital role in other types of relationships as well. Okay, let's simply put it this way. Intimacy is closeness that exists between people in personal relationships. Yes, you ought to be in a personal relationship with someone before you can term it intimacy. It is what builds over time as you connect with someone. You grow to care about each other and feel all the more comfortable during your time together. It can include both physical or emotional closeness. It could be any of them either. Now, intimacy means different things to different people. What you term as an intimate moment with a loved one might not necessarily be my definition of what intimacy is. For instance, you may feel close to your spouse while you read a book together. To you, that might be an intimate moment, but to your spouse, it is taking a walk after reading that book, his own definition of intimacy. All the more reason why you should work towards understanding what makes your spouse feel intimate. Is it sharing an ice cream, eating together, telling stories, hide and seek? The list is endless. Now, your specific idea of intimacy may be influenced by your interest, your communication style, your preferred ways of getting to know someone, and so on. Intimacy is known to build strong foundations for couples to survive through the toughest of times. When you're going through tough times and you've already built a foundation of intimacy between you both, it will be easier to sail through that ship. It is like an anchor for when the going gets tough and a reassurance that you are not alone. It is the need to be as close as emotionally possible to the person that we have promised to spend the rest of our lives with. There are several types of intimacy, but I'll be focusing on emotional intimacy. And for the purpose of this discussion, I'll focus on the relationship that exists between a husband and wife. Now, what is emotional intimacy? Let's simply say it is what allows us to tell our spouses those personal things that we ordinarily would not tell other people. It is that sense of closeness that we develop over time. We build over time. It is gradual, it's not instant. It's that feeling of knowing that you are safe and also having our inner thoughts and feelings known and accepted. Every one of us desires a different level of emotional intimacy based on our attachment, experiences growing up, and what normal is for us. So there is no hard or fast rule on what is enough. Just think of it as letting your guard down as you learn that you can trust someone completely and you feel safe to let your walls down to embrace that someone. Okay, what do you call that feeling of looking forward to the return of your spouse or your own return to them so you can be yourself with them, you can be the real you with them, or how we can tell our spouses anything without being judged and we get a listening ear? Yeah, you got it. That is what emotional intimacy is all about. That is what I am talking about. It is good we also understand that emotional intimacy is a key component to a happy marriage. It is about you becoming best of friends, you and your husband, you and your spouse, you and your wife. It's about sharing secrets. It's about desire, wants, and needs. It's about you nurturing them and them nurturing you as well, with a deep understanding of each other's feelings and the need for emotional support. It is also about you giving them compliments, daily compliments, and telling them how much you love them from a place of sincerity. Note, it has to be sincere, it ought to be sincere. How successful we are at this intimacy is directly related to our emotional intelligence as against our IQ. And by emotional intelligence, I mean our ability to understand, use, and manage our emotions in positive ways to communicate effectively, to relieve stress, and improve our skills, social skills as individuals. Now, if you and your partner are emotionally distant, that means you lack emotional intimacy. One or more of these that I'm about to mention are likely to happen in your relationship. One, you won't get much out of your interactions. You talk, 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 and at the end of the day, you've not said anything because you will not really get much out of what you have said. Then two, the security of knowing that the other person is there for you, of knowing that they truly love you, will be absent, like no assurance. Three, it can lead to issues in terms of anger, loneliness, and support issues between you two. And four, you may even begin to resent each other. Yes, it can get that bad. But if you can open up and disclose your deepest thoughts and emotions, so you'll be able to learn about your own self in the process and about your partner, and that will eventually lead to the strengthening of your bond. Now, there is no overdose of emotional intimacy, but there is an amount that you should at least attain. Now, falling short of the minimal required amount of emotional intimacy may have negative effects on your relationship. How do you know if you're falling short of them? You're falling short of the minimal amount of emotional intimacy required. Here are 7 questions that you can ask yourself to find out if you are falling short of it. Number 1, are you sharing your head and heart? By sharing your head, I mean your agenda. And by sharing your heart is you know what they are feeling and why they are feeling that way. For instance, are they feeling happy? Are they feeling sad, stressed, tensed? And why are they feeling that way? Now, you can make it a daily routine to check on this. I know it's one can easily forget, but you can check maybe during dinner, while you're back from work, or before bed. Just make it a daily affair to check. Then number 2, do you tell them your secret? And please don't tell me it is no longer a secret once it is shared. There's a reason telling secrets is considered the ultimate sign of closeness. You cannot share your secret to someone you're not close to. It is also said that there is no greater title than keeper of secrets. Your partner should be one of the people who know the most about you, including the things you tend to keep away from everyone else. Number 3, would you trust your partner with your life? It is said that the biggest measure of a relationship strength is whether you can lean on each other when times get tough. You and your partner must work on developing faith that you will always have each other's back come hell or high water. Question number 4, do you accept all of each other? In order to feel safe with each other, you both need to accept each other unconditionally. This means that even if there are things about your partner that you wish were different, you do not love them any less for them. And on the flip side, even if part of you bother them, you feel confident that they are not going to leave you over these things. Number 5, do you tell them big news? Your partner should be among the first, if not the first person, to know about major life events, even if it is in an area that they are not really interested. You should be happy that you're happy. You should be excited that you're excited. You should be glad that you're glad. Number 6, do you talk about your marriage? The closest couples don't keep it to themselves when they are doubting their relationships. They are not sure where their relationship is headed. They don't like the way their relationship is sailing, or they feel upset with each other. They understand that it is through these tough conversations that their relationship will grow. Last but not the least, number 7, do you make lots of small talk? It's normal to ask each other about how your day went after work. How was your day? It's normal. But if the majority of your conversation is about all these mundane things, you're probably not connecting as much as you should. People get closer by sharing their deepest feelings, by sharing their hopes, sharing their aspirations, their dreams, their fears, and all. I mean, all of these that I have just mentioned fluctuates throughout your relationship. But as long as more often than not you lean on each other, share with each other, and are open with each other, there's enough emotional intimacy, I can say. Then someone would want to say, I think our marriage is lacking this kind of intimacy. How do we go about restoring it, or how do we build it? Okay, the first thing we must do to build or restore intimacy, as the case may be, to our marriage is us to increase the amount of time that we spend with our spouses. In fact, it is not the first thing that we must do, it is the most important thing if we want to build or recover emotional intimacy in our marriages. If you feel that intimacy is lacking in your marriage and you once had a strong bond that's now trying to recover, it's important to try to be as open as possible and communicate with your partner. Intimacy is an important aspect of developing as a couple. To improve intimacy also in our relationships, we should think of it as a living thing that changes throughout our life. After all, one characteristic of a living thing is growth. So as you mature, that's as you grow in your relationship and mature, both you and your partner's needs will definitely change. So be open to that and embrace it. Acknowledge it in your relationship. Acknowledge that it's a part of the process and welcome it. May we experience unending happiness and the best forms of intimacy in our marriages. With that, we've come to the end of this episode. Jazakumullahu khairan for your time. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly do so and tap on the notification bell so you are notified of new episodes as they are uploaded. We also like to see your comments in the comment section. Do not forget to also like and share with family and friends. See you in our next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.